quiet crowd. Good evening. Hi, happy Monday. Thank you all so much for coming. My name is Carly Katona, and I'm honored to be able to support Mayor Butts and the City Council and the City of Inglewood to advance this Destination Market Street program. We've been working on it for a while, and we are so thrilled that it is going to officially launch tomorrow. To start our program off tonight, we have the esteemed leadership of the city here to present a few words, and I'd like to start off by introducing Mayor Butts.
Hey, well, good evening, everybody. I like that. Good evening, everybody. That's right. And you know what? I can always tell when Eloy is giving away money because everybody parked out in the red zone. You know, I want to welcome you here to Destination Market Street. Now, this particular program, these grant funds, are for businesses that are in the described areas. I don't know if they have the map, but that's what this is for. Now, you know what we're going to continue to try to do is do something for everybody. So, you know, Lisa and Carly are going to explain to you which businesses qualify right now for facade improvements, and you don't have to own the business, but you have to have the authorization of the business property owner. Everybody got that? And as you all know, a lot of things come in Inglewood. We have the NBA All-Star Weekend in 2026. We have 8 FIFA World Cup matches in 2026. We have Super Bowl 61 in 2027. That's our second Super Bowl in 5 years. The Olympic Games for swimming and basketball in 2028, and opening and closing ceremonies. So we're officially an international city, but as the council realizes, we're not great without the residents and without our small businesses. And so this is what this is about. We intend to make sure that the prosperity that comes to the city finds its way to our small businesses. We last year gave a $500 rebate to every single family resident property owner as a rebate. We call it a prosperity rebate because the city is doing well. No city in the history of the United States has ever given a rebate like that on taxes, ever. So I wanted to invite my partner in crime, Eloy Morales, up to see if he had a few words for you. My man. Yeah, we got dressed up.
Hey, everybody, how you guys doing? All right. Listen, I've been on the council for 22 years, and the bottom line is twice we've put in millions of dollars into Market Street thinking that people were going to see what we did and come down. The difference between those 2 times and today is the fact that there's a plan in place. There's a plan in place where we include you guys, and we're going to start getting aggressive in terms of trying to bring on business. Why? Because, for instance, myself, who has been here my whole life, I love Market Street, and I know what it could be. And you guys know what it could be. And that's why we're all here. So we may not, you know, come out and give you guys everything you need, but what we do need is your opinion and your commitment, because this is going to happen. And so how we deal with it going forward is as a partner. We're going to share with you what we have. I know Lisa and Carly are going to do a good job on that. We've all been made aware of it. But going forward, that's what's going to happen. Also, the mayor alluded to the fact that not all of you guys are in the area that qualifies. And we understand that. This grant has been earmarked for Market Street, and if you don't fall within that barrier, you're not going to qualify for this one. But Lisa and Carly understand that our goal is to include everyone, because you guys are all part of Inglewood and all part of improving this area. So we're going to be who we need to be here in Inglewood, and today's the beginning of it on Market Street. So thank you very much for being here.
Eloy, you know who else is here? Dion Falk is here. Stand there quiet in the corner. Oh, and Gloria, well, come on up.
at least so they can see what we look like.
Exactly. So, Gloria, come on. Gloria Gray, Councilwoman District 1.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Stand here, don't leave. Come here, you guys. You know what? I have only been on the council a couple of years, right? I think it's going to my third year, but I am so happy to be part of a team, right? And you can see what this team is all about, headed by the mayor, right? Because we are making sure that we bring whatever resources we can to this community, to you. So let's give this team a round of applause, okay? And part of that team, of course, is you. You know, you've heard the particulars about this particular program. It's a $250,000 grant for those who have businesses and the owners on Market Street and surrounding areas. I'm sure you're going to hear the presentation and you'll know who qualifies. But it's all about improving the quality of not just the residents, but the businesses, right? Because businesses, I believe, is really the crust of this community. Because we have to support our small businesses. We have to. They brought us to this point, is what the mayor just said. So we don't forget the businesses. We know every resident, everyone is important, but we do support businesses in this community. And you've heard the fact that this is just particularly for the businesses in that area, but we're not forgetting about the rest of the businesses. I've had calls from residents, business owners that said, what about us? You know, my district is a corridor on Manchester, and the mayor we live in pretty much the same area. Right, we're concerned about those businesses too. We're concerned about the businesses on Prairie Avenue. And so this is not the last effort, not the last opportunity. And so I want you to know that we are here to serve everyone. So thank you very much for being here. Good luck to everybody. And thank you, team, and thank you, everyone here.
Now, you guys, Gloria is the newest. Eloy is the oldest, but not chronologically. But he's been on the council for 22 years. Let's give him a big hand. He has seen the Alpha and the Omega. And now we have a second-term councilwoman from District 4, Dion Falk.
Thank you. Hello, hello. I want to say this has lifted my mood. I'm so happy to be here. As you know, it's been a lot going on over the last week with the unrest and everything, and so my mood has been really really sad. And so coming here, seeing the smiles on your faces, and knowing that this is a brand new opportunity for you to be able to lift up your businesses and get a bright, new, fresh start is lifting up my mood and putting a smile on my face. So I am very happy to be here this evening. I want to just be able to congratulate you and let you know that this is Inglewood. This is our team. This is what we're doing behind the scenes. This is what we're doing every day of the week. We're working really hard for our residents, for our businesses, small businesses. So please know that we work very hard for you. And so you're seeing the productivity of what we do. So I hope you appreciate it. Hope you take advantage of it. And like our team has said here, all four of us now, that this is just the beginning. This is the businesses on Market Street and right in that little area, but this is not the end. This is just the beginning, and we're going to get to some of the other main corridors. So if you're not on Market Street right now, don't worry about it. We're going to get to you because this is the hardest working team right here in Inglewood. So we got you. We got your back. Know that, okay? So let's rock it out tonight. Let's get the money to these businesses on Market Street, and then let's move forward with the other businesses on the other corridors, okay? Let's do this.
And last thing, we have really done a lot of great things in the city. But right now, we have brothers and sisters that are in angst. And we just need to remember that because we're all one community. And so, if you can say a kind word to people, who have family that are at risk, say we're with you. We're a 92% black and brown community, 58% brown. And right now, this is a difficult time in the history of America. And let's not forget anybody. We leave nobody behind. So anyway, so let's get that money.
Yes. Well, it's hard to follow, and we are very blessed to be able to work with this fabulous team of leaders, of the leaders of the city. And my name is Lisa Trifoletti. I'm a consultant to the City of Inglewood and been working both on the transportation plan and the economic development plan. We will be introducing the consultant that will walk us through the gory details of how to get access and the application process for the funds. But I thought I would take a minute just to give you an update briefly on what's happening, bigger picture on the transportation plan. So many of you have heard about the Inglewood Transit Connector Project, a 1.6-mile elevated people mover. And had we not had the big idea to go actually pursue that project, we wouldn't be where we are today. When we were thinking around, and the mayor, and council wanted us to look at the long-range needs, 2045, 2078, those years. When you look at the growth and what's happening here in Inglewood, it lends itself to an answer to build a high-speed transit facility, just like they're building at LAX right now to connect to the Metro K line, and they had a big celebration last Friday opening up that airport Metro connector. But in the interim, because that project, first of all, was beyond our budget, unbeknownst to us, we went through all the steps, and we looked at all the construction that would happen between now and before the Olympics. We took a minute from October to now to really think about what is the right plan for this moment ahead of the Olympics. And all the while, it's always been the city's intention to invest in the downtown Inglewood area, in the historic core on Market Street. But I know there was a lot of concern about what construction disruption would do. So we have now rephased the transportation program to where we're doing a series of mobility hubs. What are mobility hubs? They're places where multiple kinds of transportation modes will come. It's connecting to the Metro K line, connecting to the Metro C line, bringing in shuttles, bringing in buses that are already coming here in a really much more organized way, having a more organized place for pickup and drop off for Uber and Lyft and rideshare, thinking about how we're making bike connections and even pedicabs, and really thinking about those connections. And we're going to have multiple transportation hubs using the dollars that we've secured to date. Market Street will have 2 mobility hubs, both on the northern end of Market Street and then on the southern end of Market Street at Hillcrest and La Brea. Those will have both parking opportunities, and they're in places where it's going to be signed and intercept points for cars that are coming in, whether you're a visitor every day or you're a visitor on event days. This is where we want to bring people, to really encourage people to walk, eat, shop, and play along Market Street. So you can think of Old Town Pasadena, you can think of, Santa Monica, you can think of other cities that have, parking nodes and transportation nodes. This is what we're going to be using our transportation dollars, and we're going to ensure that the very first mobility hub, which is at Market Street at the corner of Market and Florence, is going to be designed in a way that thinks ahead for when it is necessary to have something like the train that we always had planned for. And so we're making sure the pieces are in the right place, making sure that pedestrian bridge anticipates something like that for when it's appropriate for the city to level up. In the meantime, we're going to have bus-only lanes and shuttle-only lanes on event days. And we're really going to try to figure out how to minimize any disruption to anybody's on-street parking needs, and really look at signage and just have everything ready and do it before the Olympics. And so we didn't have, we have this project that we have the City Council blessing. We have all the consultant traffic and transportation planning resources. We have our construction teams ready to go, and we will make sure, we're so happy that you guys came out tonight, that we have all your information, that as we go through continued outreach on what does it look like, what are the design elements, what are the amenities, how is it really going to work, we're going to do more and more meetings like this to really capture your feedback and really get your input on making sure it works to meet our needs. Now, simultaneous to that, there already is a lot of infrastructure for what they call intelligent transportation system, making sure the lights are synchronized. But we could even do a better job bringing in even enhanced technologies that are now, the state of the future. So this is the kind of thing to really think about the mobility plan. It's not just for event days. We're also looking at non-event days. So for example, there's a program called the I-Line and I-Ride. And so trying to think of community circulation plans that would help everybody every day. So that's going to be something you'll see, and I just wanted to make sure you understood. Tonight, we're here to talk about one segment. We're here to talk about the tenant and facade improvements, but I wanted to make sure that you understood that we're looking at everything in a comprehensive, holistic approach. So that was the transportation side. Next slide. We're also talking to the city, and I know Chris Jackson and Bernard McCrumbie are here, and they're property owners, of what does it mean to plan for the right growth. And so there's a zoning plan, it's the overlay zone, and we're really looking at how do we update that, even though they did that recently, to really make sure we're activating the right level of development, the right scale, and really making sure all the pieces fit together. So that's another effort. You will have invitations to come to meetings on that as well. That's not tonight, but I just wanted to make sure you understood we didn't forget about that work effort. And next slide is thinking about, housing. There's a lot of housing development that's been proposed for this area. That's a good thing. That brings in the foot traffic. There's things that the city encourages. This is such a fabulous community that people want to invest in Inglewood. And so I just wanted you to be aware of, what we're trying to do and what the city's trying to do to support affordable housing and really, again, bring in that foot traffic. So again, this is not just about an event day plan, but it's about long-term sustained positive growth for the city, knowing that the state is incenting people to do this kind of work regardless of what the city's doing. So I just wanted you to understand that. We have monies also to do pedestrian and street improvements. And so beyond what we're going to talk about tonight, so I'm going to stop talking, beyond what we're going to be talking about tonight, which is the tenant and facade improvements, another effort is really utilizing the funds to enhance the look and feel of Market Street. The landscape, the streetscape, the safety aspects, because you're going to have a lot of people gathering here. So this is going to be another thing that we will get in touch with all y'all and make sure that you're invited to help weigh in on the design, the lighting, the whole pedestrian realm. And I just wanted you to see how all these pieces are connected together. So I'll stop. Well, I'll be in the back by those boards answering questions when this is over if you have other questions about other elements. And I'm going to turn it over to Carly.
Thanks, Lisa. So before we get started and I introduce my colleague, I just want to also give a round of applause to Chris Jackson, the city's assistant city manager, and Bernard McCrumbie, who are here, the director of planning, who have been our partners and collaborators in implementing this program. So I want to thank them for their leadership and guidance as we've gotten to this point. So now it's my pleasure to introduce my colleague, Daryl Smith. Daryl is from PCR Finance and Capital, and the City Council approved a contract with PCR a few months ago to help launch this program. And I'm sure Daryl will give a little bit of background on his role in the organization, but we are thrilled that we have a partner, a long-standing local partner based in Inglewood with experience not only as a small business development center and a community development financing institution, to help carry this program forward. And they're going to bring so many resources to businesses on Market Street and beyond to Inglewood. So without further ado, Daryl.
Thank you, Carly. As mentioned, I am Daryl. I'm with PCR, and we were awarded this opportunity to help Inglewood rise up. This is a fantastic program and idea And from talking to many of you, it's been a long time coming. So it's here now, and we'll try to make the best of it. So let your minds go and think about beautification and what that would look like. And these are some examples of what can be done with facade changes from the outside. It looks welcoming to me, makes me want to go into that establishment. Next slide, please. Thank you. This is another rendering that shows what it could be like. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. You can let your eyes glaze over. I understand you have this presentation in your folders as well. If not, I know it'll be available online, and you could study it even more. That might be your building. I don't know. So let's get busy. Next slide. Destination Market Street Facade and Tenant Improvement Program is designed to support economic and small business growth in downtown Inglewood by revitalizing businesses on and around Market Street. Supporting businesses demonstrating longevity in Inglewood, attracting new viable businesses to downtown Inglewood. Eligible businesses and property owners may apply for grants for up to $250,000 for improvement. So let me say that one more time. Grants up to $250,000 for improvements. And we'll spell out the improvements as we dig into this presentation. Eligible improvements include exterior and interior painting, signage, installation of new lighting, replacement of storefront windows and awnings, correction of code violations and or ADA compliance, furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and hazardous materials abatement. I have visited some of your businesses, and a couple of them I went into, and you can check every one of those boxes under this program. It will make a difference, amen? Investing in state funds into Market Street. Destination Market Street is funded entirely through an appropriation from the state of California, specifically for facade and tenant improvement. Local funds are not being used for this program. Eligibility. Properties zoned mixed use and historic core on and around Market Street within the Destination Market Street map area boundaries are eligible to apply. Properties must have valid lease agreements with a commercial tenant in place. Property owners and or tenants are eligible for properties may initiate the application process. So it could be an owner or a tenant could initiate the process. Tenants must have property owners express written permission to apply. Next slide, please. Yes.
I just want to make one point here.
Yeah.
To make sure we're not confusing anything. As you see, there's red and yellow. All of those properties fall within the state-approved boundaries for this grant program. The gray areas, which is really the block just north of Regent, south of Florence, and the property located on Manchester and Market on the east side of the street, are properties that are anticipated to be, the businesses are anticipated to be relocated due to the Inglewood Transit Connector program that Lisa mentioned. There will be a separate program. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble for not being at the podium, sorry. There's going to be a separate program for those businesses. We want to make sure that they don't compete, but they're not eligible yet for relocation benefits. So we will run a separate program that those businesses can apply in the fall. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Thanks, Daryl.
I just want you to know that was planned. We needed a dramatic effect. So, pre-application activities, site visits. PCR meets with property owner and or tenant to provide an overview of eligibility criteria. program goals, guidelines, materials, and anticipated scope of the project. We recommend scheduling your site visit before July 15th. Now, why July 15th? That's my birthday. It's true. Site and project assessments. PCR reviews the applicant's proposed scope of work and property records and prepare a project feasibility analysis. Planning department review is projects determined to be viable based on the site visit and project assessment will be referred to the planning department for preliminary review and conceptual approval and or pathway to approval. Feedback, PCR will provide feedback to the applicant regarding their proposed project, whether it meets eligibility requirements and preliminary guidelines on anticipated city approval process. Next slide, please. City design review. Planning division will have a designated planner assigned to the Destination Market Street program to expedite the review of the project. Now, I had a conversation with some folks and they said, oh Lord, that's gonna take forever. I want you to know the city has made provisions to help expedite this process. I think you heard the mayor say, we're in a hurry. There's some critical dates coming up and want to get things done so everyone can benefit. Planning Commission approval is no longer required for exterior modifications. All applications will be reviewed ministerially. Projects must comply with objective design standards. Contact the Planning Division. That phone number will be in that presentation, 310-412-5230 for more information. Application. All application materials can be assessed at pcrcorp.org/Inglewood or scan the QR code that's on already. Captures general information about the property business and intended improvements. Either the property owner or tenant must be identified as applicant. Requires signature of property owner and tenant if the tenant is the applicant. Requires scope and budget information to include budget planning template, relevant project details, contractor bids, quotes, scope of work. All of that you can find online. Next slide. This is the application. I understand that's in your folder. To be completed by you and to be sent over to PCR. Once we get it, we will review it and we will begin to communicate with you and begin to set up dates for the next steps. Supporting documents include, in addition to application itself, the following attachments need to be submitted. Copies of lease agreement, copy of city business tax certificate or city business license, copy of grant deed or other verification of ownership, proposed project budget, budget template, and supporting documentation. Business growth participation form, rental increase protection form. Well, I'll speak on that in a minute. Samples of the grant agreement and maintenance covenant are also available for review online, but will not be processed until grant award. So the project budget, there's a template that will be provided. That project budget must be accompanied by supporting documentations such as contractor bids, quotes, and scope of work. Business growth participation form, self-explanatory on what needs to be completed. I won't labor on that. Next slide is the second page of it. I believe there are 3 pages, we're showing 2, but that is also available to you. Now, you might be looking at this and saying, wow, that's a lot of paperwork and documents. Well, it costs you to get $250,000. Nobody's just going to hand it over to you. So, you know, you can do it. Rental increase protection form. The Destination Market Street program requires that participating landlords limit rent increases to 5% for 3 years from the time of the maintenance covenant is recorded, unless there is a previously negotiated agreement. The maintenance covenant is recorded upon receipt of all necessary permits and approvals. Rent increases is also capped at 5% or other previously negotiated agreement during the application period. The rental increase protection form requires upon any of the following: the application is canceled, or, let me read that again. The rental increase protection form expires upon any of the following: the application is canceled, or the city official declines award of the grant to the applicant. Maintenance covenant. Yes.
I think because this might be new information for some of you, and I just want to give a little bit of context to why the city decided to structure it this way. Essentially, what we want to make sure is that businesses who have the opportunity to participate are then not priced out by landlords once they get the improvements. So we want to make sure that this is a collaboration between those businesses and the property owners. Sorry? Oh, you're louder than I am? Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. What I was saying is that the reason that the city decided to structure their program like this is because we want to make sure that tenants are not evicted quickly after those improvements are done. We want to make sure that they can continue to afford rent within the business, within the property. And we want to make sure that that kicks off as soon as that application is sent in, that they don't try to, there's no quickie, no changes that happen before they get the grant award, which is why that rent protection happens right at the application submittal. If you don't get the grant, forget it. The businesses are off to do, the property owners can do what they want, but we want to make sure those businesses are protected from the minute that they submit, and that they're protected for a period of time so that everyone benefits as intended from this investment. Just to go back to the growth participation form, the other goal not only is to give businesses an opportunity to stay there and benefit from this investment that the city is making, but we want to make sure that, and this was really the benefit of working with PCR, is that we are really looking at these businesses and making sure that we are giving everything we can to support businesses thriving in these spaces. So it's not just about putting up new awnings and new paint. It's about really understanding what is working with these businesses, where are there opportunities to support the businesses. And so this, and Colette's here, and she's going to talk a little bit more about the resources that PCR can provide, but there's a range of services to make sure that they're holding your hand through all sorts of different other issues that you might have, whether it's access to capital, whether it's technical assistance. So this really creates an opportunity for full service resources. And it's not just businesses on Market Street, but businesses across the city that can benefit from what PCR can provide. So sorry, I'm not going to keep interrupting Daryl, but I just want to provide a little bit more context.
Thank you. That's all good. The maintenance covenant, I don't know if I need to go over that again. I think she covered it. You know, generally it establishes, well, I should. It establishes general maintenance standards and obligations of property owner upon acceptance of the grant. Obligations include compliance with Destination Market Street program guidelines, maintaining property in state of good repair, limiting rent increases to 5% annually over 3 years, and maintaining the use consent with applicable zoning and land use regulations. Next slide. Application submittal. Available online fileable PDF. Once completed, applications need to be emailed to PCR at inglewoodDMS@pcrcorp.org. Following review of following review by PCR, signature pages will be sent to property owner and tenant for digital signature via Adobe Sign. Grant amounts. Applicants may receive up to $250,000 award, will depend on the application submitted, scope of work, and available funding. PCR will evaluate applications on content, completeness, and consistency with the program guidelines to ensure the program is administered fairly, equitably, and consistent with the grant requirements. If interest exceeds available funding, priority will be given to properties on Market Street and those providing neighborhood and entertainment services. The city may propose to award an applicant less funds than are requested. In the event that funds are not exhausted, the city may accept additional applications on a rolling basis. The mayor spoke to some of that already. What we're doing with the funds does have a finite capacity, so address that accordingly as you go. I don't want to say first come, first serve, because we will be evaluating the program going forward based on those points just made on meeting the guidelines of the program as we go forward. But if you stay within the script, you should have a fairly good chance. Grant agreement, legal agreement between the city and the applicant, which establishes the obligation of both parties if a grant is awarded. If the tenant is the applicant, the property owner is also required to sign. The document will be sent to the property owner and possibly the tenant for digital signatures upon grant award and acceptance. A template of the grant agreement is available online for applicants' review. The disbursement, reimbursement for invoices. Grant funds will primarily be disbursed on a disbursement basis. Following award of a grant, the applicant may submit invoices for eligible design and construction work for reimbursement. Funding advancement. In pre-approved special circumstances, funds may be advanced for cost rather than provided on a reimbursement basis. Instructions on applicants seeking fund advancement will be provided at the time of the award. Anticipated timing. June 10th, mañana, 90-day application period opens. June through July, site assessments. I have our contractor here, Thomas Tyler, stand up. He and I will be making those visits to make a determination on the application as we go forward. On September 8th, 2025, 90-day application period closes, and then November, December notices of awards. That's the timeline we're working with. As you heard, a second application period targeted for Inglewood businesses being relocated due to the Inglewood Transit Connector project is anticipated to open in fall of 2025. Recommended next steps. Review www.pcrcorp.org/Inglewood to confirm your property's eligibility. Download and submit the program intake form. Contact me, Daryl Smith at pcrcorp.org at PCR to schedule a pre-application submittal site visit. Start compiling necessary support documents and application attachments. So, you've heard what we are doing. If you think you got a handful, I'll have to work with each and every one of you. So I got even more, but a labor of love. Other PCR services, as I step aside from the podium. PCR is a community development financial institution and is designated Small Business Development Center by the U.S. Small Business Administration. With those designations comes decades of experience helping businesses in Inglewood and throughout the region identify and access programs and funding available to small businesses. While the city selected PCR to be the Destination Market Street Program Administrator, our responsibilities don't end there. We never take off our SBDC hat. We're here to help. And trust me, SBDC got some pretty fancy programs. I know Colette will talk about that in a moment, that could subsidize what you're trying to do. You get $250,000, but you want to do a $500,000 project. You might be able to pull that off. PCR is committed to helping Inglewood businesses, those who receive grants and those who don't, explore other opportunities and resources which they may be eligible for. So before I call Colette Moore up, any other point? So without further ado, I call Colette Moore up. Colette is the Vice President of PCR's SBDC division, and she's here to tell you all about it.
Thank you, Daryl, and thank you, Carly, and good evening, Inglewood. Y'all are coming to get the money. I like Mayor Butts saying that. Go get the money. I'm always about how do you get the money for your business? How do you help your businesses to grow? And so if you go to the next slide, we've met some of you all before, SBDC, Small Business Development Center. We have a table here in the back. One of our advisors, Concealer Tarver, who is also a former banker, is back here to answer questions as well. But I'm excited and honored actually to be here to be able to assist you all as you're not just putting paint and going about kind of doing the things that Daryl talked about, dealing with codes, dealing with all of those other things. You're actually going to be growing your business. We want to be able to help you to grow. And not only that, you know, plan for the future as well. There are a couple of things that I think that we could really assist you on. And the first thing is actually, I wanted to mention business interruption. Y'all gonna get a little interrupted. I don't know. I was a small business owner and actually a client here at PCR, and there was construction going on next to me. There's, you know, you might have internet disruption, phone disruption, variety of different things that might impact you. What is your plan to get ready for those types of things as you're going into this planning? So be thinking about how are you gonna contact your clients if things go out. So we can help you there. I actually have these books. We're working with Outsmart Disasters for disasters, but also business interruption to help you to put a plan together, so make sure to come and pick up one of those. So that's kind of one of the first things. You put your application in, you're waiting for your approval, and in the meantime, you want to start getting your business ready for this transition because it'll be big, it's exciting, it's overwhelming. It's a lot of work that you'll have to do, and that's where we can help you. So in addition to the business interruption, let us help you put a strategic plan together. So how are you going to work through the time that the construction and changes are going on? How are you going to keep contact with your customers? What are you going to do? What's your plan of approach? What's your marketing going to be? How much are you going to make during this period? And I'm going to ask how many of you all have business projections? Let me see your raise of hands. All right, there are a couple in the room. So you want to be thinking about that as you're getting ready to undergo a project like this. What is your money going to look like? Because we all want money from our businesses. We want to improve our margins as well. And so that's one of the areas we can help you with. Refining your financials. You need to have all of that stuff ready if you want to get additional money as well to add to the pot. So how can you do that to get your financials in good order? And good news is you have a little bit of time because the projects don't really start until kind of January-ish maybe when construction is getting started, but into next year. So you guys got time. Let us help you to get ready for your growth and for this project. The other thing, we can help you with crafting marketing and social media. We also offer a workshop on AI for marketing, which is very helpful. You guys, I'm using it every day. But just be mindful, we try to teach you of the benefits and some of the risks with using AI for your business, but it may be able to help you along the way if you need to apply for any particular certifications. And then how are you going to do customer service and train your team? And we have workshops for that as well. So we have workshops and one-on-one advising a variety of different specialties. And you'll come in, you will register with that form that Daryl mentioned, that 641 form. That's your registration. That says, yes, you can work with the SBDC, and these services are free. Can somebody say free? We like free, plus $250,000, free services to help you get your business going. We are here to help, and we're excited about all of the things that you're going to do. I can't wait till I drive down Market Street and see all the changes that will be made in the next couple of years. And you guys are the people that are part of that. You're the entrepreneurs, the dreamers. You've got your visions for what you're looking for in your business, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we can help you to make those dreams come true. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Colette. Thank you. So thank you, Daryl, for breaking it down today. We're excited to get Daryl very busy. He should not have a break until his birthday. We want to make sure that these site assessments happen because we want to make sure if you're going to go through the work of putting together an application, we want to make sure you know that you're eligible and that the improvements that you want are eligible. So the goal is he should be in Inglewood every single day until his birthday, which just so happens to be my husband's birthday. I didn't even realize that. So we'll celebrate after you've done all these assessments. Before we break, and we have some tables in the back with information about the city's updated general plan efforts. We have more information on the Inglewood Transit Connector project. Again, the PCR has a booth. We just want to mention that we will have our team, both PCR, Lisa, myself, and our colleague Eric, who's worked really hard to get this off the ground. We will be at tables to answer one-on-one questions about the program. So we want to make sure if you have questions, come by Lisa, Eric, raise your hands. Daryl is going to be here, so come to one of the five of us, and we will do our best to answer any questions you have related to the program. We have one more presentation before we break, though, and it's my pleasure to introduce Afton, who's representing Zeal tonight. Many of you may have met the team from Zeal. This is a grassroots, not city-sponsored initiative, but working really hard to think about how to engage small businesses and create a better sense of community within Market Street. We thought we have an apt audience, and we should make sure that they have an opportunity to present what they're doing while everyone's here. So Afton, please share a little bit about what you're working on.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Afton Page. I'm with Zeal. We are a creative co-op arts studio. We've been here about, thank you. We've been here about 5 years. We've gotten to know some of our neighbors, and one of the first things we looked for when we moved here was a business association. We found out there wasn't one. So with the Katali Foundation, we were given a grant for $150,000 to conduct a feasibility study, get to know everybody, what they're looking for, what the needs are, concerns are. A lot of you business owners are running it by yourselves. You don't have time to come to stuff like this, and having an association gives you that advocacy, that backup and support. Thank you. So last year, 2024, we launched the Creative-Led Development Initiative with the California Community Foundation to launch the Business Association. I've gone around and passed out some of these cards. If you didn't get one, my colleague and I will be in the back. We're here to support you. We're here to work together. We are stronger together. This isn't funded by the city. Like, we're just a business owner like you all, and we're trying to make sure we all get some money to thrive. And community is where it is. So if you do have one, check us out. We have a beautiful video in the back that some of your local businesses have participated in. The Miracle Theater, Black Bean, Sip and Sonder, are just a few of the businesses in the video. And in the video, they are out here advocating for you all. So come check us out, take a look. It'll be nice to meet all of you. Take care.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming. Please mingle. I think you may have eaten us out of tacos. We're going to order more next time. But we are thrilled to answer any questions. We're going to do questions one-on-one. And please take a look at all the resources in the back room. But we really thank you for coming and hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you.